Hello class, this lesson is for Thursday, April 16th, 2020. It is area of a triangle, which you've already done, but we're going to do again. And review of dividing fractions, which you did way back. All right, so let's start off with area of a triangle first. The formula for area of a triangle is area equals half the base times the height. Now all you're doing is basically taking the parallelogram and dividing it in two. That's it. I prefer this formula better. Base times height divided by 2. It's just easier to deal with than a fraction. Okay? So say you have a triangle. And you have a base of 3 and the triangle is divided like this and usually marked by a dotted line height. So you have this and you have a height of 2. All right, so what you do is you take the base, which is 3. You multiply it by the height, which is 2. Then you divide by 2. This becomes 6 over 2 or 3. And usually it's marked with centimeters or something like that. In this case, we'll make it centimeters and you square it because we're finding area. That is how you do the triangle area. I prefer this formula over this one, so let's just get rid of that one and make it look like this. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay? I'll do one more triangle. This shouldn't be that difficult. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes a triangle can be on its side, like this. They'll do that to you. And it doesn't matter if it's kicked over or not. There'll still be a line for height, and there'll still be a base, which would say, we'll say it's here 4, and we'll say the height is 4, and we're dealing with, we'll say feet. Okay? So basically you're taking your base, which is 4, you're multiplying it by your height, which is 4, and you're going to divide it by 2. 4 times 4 is 16, divided by 2 becomes 8, and we're dealing with feet squared. So not much harder than the parallelogram. If you do not divide by 2 and you just do base times height, you're going to find the area of a parallelogram. You're not going to find the area of a triangle. So remember to use this formula. I'm not sure if Ms. Galt posted the formula sheet out there for you guys to use, but I will double check with her on that and see if she'll post that for you guys to have as a reference. All right, so that's how you do area of a triangle. That should be a review. It shouldn't be new. We did that back in the beginning of March. All right, so let's go back to August, late August and early September, and talk about dividing fractions. Now, again, you can have a whole number divided by a fraction. Now, you already know to put the whole number over 1. Now, this gets treated a little differently. Don't skip this step. Make sure you do this. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to keep, change, flip, if you remember me saying that. All right? So we're going to keep the 3 over 1. We're going to change the symbol from a division sign to a multiplication sign. And we're going to flip the second fraction. That's called the reciprocal when you flip that. You have to do that. Now we can solve it just like we do with a multiplication fraction. I don't see anything to reduce here. So 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. We have an improper fraction, which I'm going to turn back into, this one's going to be a mixed number. 2 goes into 9 approximately 4 times. That means we used up 8 of this, and we have 1 left. So there's your answer, 4.5. Okay? So that's how you do a whole number times a fraction. Let's do a fraction times a fraction. Let's do 3/8 divided by 1/4. And see what happens, okay? Remember, you keep the first one. Keep. You've heard me say this a million times, keep, change, flip. Change, flip. The flip is called the reciprocal. Now we can solve it. You cannot solve a fraction in division form. You must change it to multiplication. Now, I look to see if I can reduce. I can. I can make 4 go into 4 once. I can make 4 go into 8 twice. That leaves 3 times 1, 2 times 1. Once again, it's improper. 2 goes into 3 one time. We used up 2 out of the 3, and that leaves 1/2. And that's how you do that. Now what happens, here's the biggest mistake people make. We're going to do a mixed number one after this, but here's the big problem with students is when they have like 3/8 divided by, let's just say 2. All right, now let's make it 3. Let's make it 3. Say the whole number's on the other side. This is where you guys mess up. Here's what needs to happen. 3/8 stays. You do not jump steps. Leave the division sign. Put this 3 over a 1. Now do the next step. When you skip this step, you guys make mistakes. So let's go over here. Keep that one. Change the sign. Flip the fraction. Make sure you flip that one. Now I can solve it. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 3 once. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 times 1 is 8, and you have your answer. All right, now we're going to go to my girlfriend's favorite, which are mixed numbers. I'm not really sure what she's filming right now. Not really sure why she is excited about mixed numbers, but this is the hardest one of the bunch. I'm just going to make them up off the top of my head and see how it goes. 2 1/3 divided by, we'll say, 3 1/2. No. Let's make it 1 1/2. See what happens. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. All right, so first thing you need to do is change them both improper. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. You always keep the denominator the same. Leave the division sign for now. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 over 2. Now we can flip. So this becomes keep, change, flip. Get its reciprocal. Unfortunately, there's nothing to reduce here. This is going to be 7 times 2, 14. 3 times 3, 9. I cannot leave it in that form. Well, you can, but it's improper. It's called improper for a reason. 9 goes into 14 only one time, and that leaves 5 left over. And the 9 stays the same. So that's how you do that. My girlfriend's smiling from behind the camera. She's real excited about this. So, all right. Let's just do one more for the heck of it with a mixed number versus a whole number. See what happens. 3 3/4 divided by 2. All right, let's see what happens. I have to change this. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Let's put that over 4. Keep the division sign. Put the 2 over a 1. A lot of stuff just happened there to get to this point. I had to change this one improper, and I had to put the whole number over a 1. Both things you should know to do. Now we're going to do keep, change, flip. And unfortunately, I picked a number where we can't reduce anything again. 2 and 15 are compatible, and 1 and 4, 1's as low as it can go. 15 times 1 is 15. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 goes into 15 one time. If this was 16, it'd be 16 divided by 8 equals 2. We'd be fine. But unfortunately, 8 goes into 15 one time, and that leaves 7 left over over 8. So that's how you do this. Hopefully you guys remember that. Keep, change, flip. When you flip the second one, it's called a reciprocal. They're not going to tell you flip it on, like, say if you had to take the PSSAs, they would have said find a reciprocal of this number, which means basically to flip it. That's it. So you have area of a triangle, which you've already done. So that's base times height divided by 2. If you don't divide by 2, you find the area of a parallelogram. You don't want to do that. Make sure you divide by 2 to find the area of a triangle. It's pretty easy. The second thing you have to do is dividing fractions. You did that a long time ago. And like I said, the lessons are going to be set up where we do a newer lesson and something old. So we're just going to keep doing that back and forth. Ms. Galt will post homework for you on this lesson, and then we'll exit ticket the following day after we review the homework. I meant to post a review for the homework last night, and I didn't do it, so there was no video for April 15th, which is tonight, actually. I'm filming this the night before this, all right? All right, most of you are turning in the work. The exit tickets come in. They're graded on a spreadsheet. I will put them in the 4th 9 weeks. I'm going to hold off on those. I'll print them out. I'll put them in the 4th 9 weeks, and it'll give me a better idea of who's doing what and who isn't doing what. Remember, the 3rd 9 weeks ends Friday. You've already done most of the work all the way up to when we left March 13th, so everything should be pretty much done there. I'm not going to put another grade in for this 9 weeks, okay? That's it. Hope everybody's catching on to this and doing well. Drop me a note on Classroom once in a while saying hi. I'll respond to you if I can. And we'll continue doing this, I guess, for the rest of the year. All right, have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.